It was a hard decision for us to take, to opt out of a federation in which we had invested so much. But we had no real choice.
There's a cry from a young boy in a city running wild. There's a cry from a mother who just lost another child. There's a cry from a people who have nothing more to lose. Everything that they live for has been wasted and abused. There's a cry from a river that has nowhere to flow, and the broad of the river was lost so long ago. And I cry for a reason that only heaven knows. Where did they go wrong?
A lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. And I will say to everyone, I led proudly the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail.
He has love for the people, yet it costs the people food. He has guns for the people, and a promise yet to come. So they kill one another for a hope that never comes. There's a cry from a river that has nowhere to flow, and the pride of the river was lost so long ago. And I cry for the reason that only heaven knows. Where did they go wrong? How can they go on? Only hope remains the answer.
So ladies and gentlemen, this is the Crown Plaza Toronto Airport Hotel. And it's the 2015 annual Biafra Memorial event. This year our theme is Ozemena. And in Igbo language, Ozemena simply means never again. May this horror never ever happen again. And so as we remember the millions of souls of our dead, departed brothers and sisters and children, their unified spirit is crying out to the world in a heartfelt plea, Ozemena. And as we remember, we must also educate others so that the lessons of the Biafran genocide will inspire future generations on the lessons of being aware, vigilant, and ultimately to use compassion, empathy, love, and peace to extinguish the flames of hatred, ignorance, apathy, and injustice that breeds terrorism and violence worldwide. My name is Juliet Kegu Monido, and I'll be your hostess for the evening. I'd like to invite everyone in the hallway to come in and take a seat. Everyone in the hallway, please come in and take a seat, because what we're doing tonight is not just a general celebration. It's something very profound. It's something that we want the world to see, that indeed we honor the people whose sacrifice, means that we're standing here and standing strong. So for tonight, I would really like to beg that everyone observes, certain protocols. I know we're all excited to see one another, but would ask that we give this the reverence that it, that it entails. So everyone that's coming in, welcome, take a seat. The show is about to start. We talked about the opening statement, building a new generation, right, where they understand the importance of peace and love and empathy and compassion. And on that note, I want to say that tonight is for one thing only: to celebrate those who have died that were standing here. That's it. Every other thing is to build the awareness, to keep telling the story so that the world knows this and learns from it. Talking about the new generation, there's someone here tonight that I just want to give a brief, shout out to. Lloyd Omelebele, are you here? Please, can you stand up? It's Lloyd's birthday today, but it's not just that. It's that he graduated recently from York University. As an honors student, he won the Star Award, got a scholarship, and was the valedictorian. So for all the young people here today, what we're saying is this: the best way you can honor those who laid their lives for you to stand free is for you to be excellent in everything that you do. Wherever you are, bloom. You're in Canada, you're in Nigeria, whatever part of the world, let the story of Ndi Igbo and all Nigerians be that we're excellent people. And on that note, I'd like to start off officially. On that note, I'd like to start off officially with the opening prayers, and I want to invite to the stage the chairman of the board of directors of the Igbo Canada Community Association, Mr. Ben Allison. Yeah, a round of applause.
O Canada, and arise, O compatriot. Canada, our native land, through Petrus' love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Please, may we remain standing for the Arise, O compatriot. Arise, O compatriot, Nigeria's call obey, to save our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain, to serve with heart and might one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
What we're having tonight was put together by the Igbo Canada Community Association in conjunction with the Biafra Memorial Foundation. And I thought that we shared a bit of the history, a bit of what these organizations are about, so that, you know, when we leave here and someone asks you, what did you go for and who put it together, you have, you know, a deeper understanding. So right now, we're going to be playing a video that just gives us snippets, you know, of what the Igbo Canada Community Association is about. For those of you that are not members, I'd like to invite you to join us. And the reason is, no one is an island. When we come together, we can do so much more. Often they say, Andi Igbo, nanya die emekolite ife ofuma, you know, that we're always dissenting, always breaking into different groups. And I'm finding that in Toronto, that story can be different. That story can be different because we're coming together more and more now and seeing the beauty in coming together and doing things with one voice, one heart, one mind. So, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony, are you ready for us?
My name is Bridget. My name is Bridget Obachi, and we were some of the founding members of the Igbo Canadian Community Association that brought Biafra War Memorial Foundation into being. In the 70s, the Igbos living in Toronto had this burning desire to recognize, to help, to take care of some of the people, the veterans, the heroes that gave their life for the war. They wanted to do something. They wanted to acknowledge them because here we are out here and nothing we were doing. And so in 1994, under the leadership of Matthias Nwogu, who was then the president of ICCA, he was president after myself. He called, we organized a Remembrance Day. That's what we called it that time, a Remembrance Day. Now, along with him were Chief Matthias Nwogu. Along with him was Chief Uchenna Ezemenari, Dr. Sam Agu, Okechukwu Azikiwe, Michael Nwabogu, Okuchukwu Modekwe, thus Tio Nwogu, Edward Ndububa, Emmanuel Nwankwo. These were the core people at that time that by 2003, the Biafra War Memorial Foundation was struck.
My name is Emmanuel Nwankwo. I'm the current chair of the Board of Trustees for Biafra War Memorial Foundation from 2010 to 2015. And I work with the community and for those who seek the interests of the Igbos and Nigerians in general in Toronto here. The success of the Biafra Memorial Foundation has been a long-standing one. One was the difficulty trying to put this organization together and having the blessings of the entire community of the Igbo organization in 2005 when this issue came up first. And one of our breakthroughs was to have all the Igbos rallied around this foundation and to make sure that the foundation does what it's supposed to do. Secondly, we have been able to create an awareness among the Igbos who are in diaspora in the United States and in Canada to be part of this movement, of carrying out the news and the history and the memories of the war to generations and to the rest of the world. We have been able to succeed in bringing the Igbos in diaspora in North America to come to Canada on an annual basis to remember the fallen heroes and those who died during the war. Thirdly, we have been able to establish this foundation that has been able to go to Nigeria, the eastern part of Nigeria, where we have the veterans who are maimed by this war, who have no home, who have lost their families, and some of them are living in the streets. The Memorial Foundation has been able to send down materials to support them, even foodstuff, and leave some money that will help to sustain them. And we have also been able to work with some of the Igbo leaders in Nigeria who are actually part of this foundation. The genocide, and that's why somebody like me and many other historians know that Biafra was a genocide. We did not see the battlefield as kids and children, but we saw the battlefield right in our homes.
The purpose of the, you may call it celebratory remembrance of what happened in Biafra is just exactly, the reason that I had already enunciated. We want to remember these things, not necessarily to relive them, but to put them out there in the conscience of our people for the purposes of history. It happened. It's a fact that cannot be denied, and it's a very huge fact. So, for that reason, we should remember that, and then also teach our children what happened, not to excite them to anger or anything like that, but to also teach them that these things happen to our people, and the world can learn something from it, and that there can be a better way. And human beings are not necessarily or inherently evil or inherently good. They are who they are as a result of how they respond to the situations and challenges that come before them. And how you respond is a function of your internal environment and your external environment, what is within you, and how you respond to what happens around you. So we have to be conscious of the fact that any one of us can go the other way, from being a wonderful and nice person to becoming a murderer and a mass murderer tomorrow, or a participant in genocide. So if we are conscious of those things, then we govern the animal that is within us.
Biafra Memorial Foundation has been in existence for 10 years, and we have remembering the fallen heroes within the community and in Toronto in particular. And we want to keep it that way, to continue to remember the war, the fallen heroes. Most importantly is to educate the world about the genocide. And again, to say never again, to stop any further genocide in any part of the world. And we want the world to learn a lesson from Biafra genocide. And we want the world to be well educated about the Biafran War.
Biafran Memorial has been a huge cause in my life, and I really like the movement and where we're coming from. But as an Igbo person, we're lacking so much in the history department about what Biafra means to us. And coming from a younger generation, the history is lost.
With other people, other parts of the world where people have been massacred in such large number, we go as far as calling it genocide. And wars happen. People always take care of their war heroes, the survivors, the maimed, the blind, the disabled. It doesn't matter whether it's a big war or a small war. Why should ours be different?
Back in our country, we don't address people's trauma, we don't address people's mental health. A lot of people went crazy, lived on the road, begged on the road, nobody to provide for them because of what they suffered from the war. And nobody acknowledges it. When you go mad, they say, okay, it's a cause from somewhere, or you were drinking too much, or you had drugs. But these things were the effects of the war on people. A lot of families were wiped away. In my village, you go to some compound, there's nobody who survived from the war.
When you talk about women and children in a wartime, you know, the picture that I can't get out of my mind is the picture that we were getting. I was living in England then, of the pogrom. It came across TV, came across newspapers, pregnant women slashed open, churches burned, people massacred in the church. You look at a picture, I mean, these are foreign correspondents that were sending this, they didn't make it up. You know, you look at a field where a whole bunch of children are lying dead, women are pregnant, they're dead or struggling to do whatever, stomachs slashed open with unborn children in them. That, you know, try how I can, I cannot forget that.
When we started the Biafra Memorial Foundation in 2004, our biggest problem was not the goal of this organization. Our biggest problem was how to explain to people the purpose of this organization. So some people see anything Biafra as secession, war, conflict, but that's not what it is. We are not trying to get another state for Biafra. We are not trying to separate from Nigeria. No, that's not what we're trying to do. What we're trying to do is to remember the people that died in this war, remember the conflict, and use it so that it will not happen again. So if you are trying to fight a war or trying to separate from Nigeria, this is not where you should come to. What we are doing here is to educate the people on what happened in Nigeria from 1967 to 1970. It's not about war. It's not about separation. It's, in fact, it's about, I think the most important thing is that Biafra War Memorial Foundation, or rather Biafra Memorial Foundation, will help to integrate the Igbo nation into Nigeria. It will help the Igbo nation, the other ethnic groups, to understand that the Igbo people are not even their enemy. And will also help the Igbo to understand that the other groups are not even our enemies. It was a political misunderstanding.
As bad as the Biafra experience is, I use the present, it is still there. It gives us an opportunity to start afresh. And I want the people in Toronto to go further, whatever means within the practical, democratic, free environment you need to project this, go ahead with it. Some people will not buy into it, but there are a lot of people that will use this thing to chart different causes, especially the younger Nigerians who are coming up, who have been denied the opportunity of knowing what really happened. And most of the times they hear it as rumors. There are a lot.
Let us appreciate those our sons who have shed their blood so that we might survive. And that is why we are alive today. If they had not shed their blood and given up all they had, maybe the whole Igbo state would have been devastated and wiped out. In Toronto and other, in fact, everywhere in the world, Igbos are many there. They always, because of their ingenuity and strong will and industriousness, they go to every part of the world. When they go there, they've struggled, want to establish themselves and do that. The only thing that I need to add is that let them coordinate their struggling by helping one another, coming together, maybe doing programs that will bring them together, in which they will now learn of the past, learn of the virtues of the past, and revive them and love themselves so that they can unitedly be able to bring up their generations with a better spirit than we are now.
Thank you. And as we enjoy our dinner, I want to take this opportunity to thank the many sponsors that made tonight possible. When we started this, the question was, will people, support as they've supported in the past? But this time around, we're saying that people really opened up their hearts and their wallets for us. And if you look at the back of the program, someone asked a question recently and said, how come it's not only in Igbo that you say thank you? Why should we have other languages? I see Hausa, I see Yoruba. Why is that there? And the answer is really simple. The Biafran story is not an Igbo story. It's a universal story. Not just the Igbos were affected. Fine, predominantly we were the ones affected, but by association, there were other groups that were also affected by it. And we keep forgetting that this war, regardless of the sides that you were on, war is war. It's always the innocent that suffer. And so we say our thank you in the languages of our sponsors. Dalu, Eshe, Nagode, Mamnoon, Toda, Murakoze. Representing Toronto, that's English, the Igbo community, the Hausa community, Yoruba community, also the Persian community, the Jewish community, and also the Rwandan community. So we reached out far and wide, and what we found was that this story has resonance with every single person that hears it. And for that, I really want to just give a huge round of applause for the executives of the ICCA, Board of Trustee of the Biafra Memorial Foundation, all the people that worked on this, the planning committee, the volunteers, the ushers, every single person in the value chain, and all the members of the ICCA, all the other groups that really opened up their hearts for this message, saying we can take something like this and make it, you know, it's a painful story, but we can turn it into something positive. We can use it to teach people how to be, right? Nigeria now, we have things happening in the north. There are brothers and sisters. Our experience from Biafra is what empowers us to say this is wrong, what Boko Haram is doing. We stand united with our brothers and sisters in condemning it so that people realize that in the end, Ndibo as a community, what we really want, like Ojukwu said, is really that true federation, to be free to be anywhere in the Nigeria, you know, be excellent at what you do, at trade, business, you know, in your professions, and coexist. And later on tonight, we'll talk some more about people that really represent that. You know, this universal language we're talking about. They're walking their talk. So I'll just say thank you once again to all our sponsors. I can't mention all of you one after the other, but you know yourselves, the slides are going to keep rolling. We really appreciate that you embraced our message. And what we really got, the feedback we got was that next year you're even going to do more. So we thank you in advance for that. And for those of you that are in the room, they're probably wondering, how do I become a part of this? How do I help? How do I support what you're doing? We gave out some flyers, you know, when you came in. Take some time to go through it. It might not even be monetary support, but it might just be that when someone is, what are these people doing in Toronto? You that you were here, you experienced it, right? You stand in the gap and say, no, nda joku. You know what I mean? You really advocate and say, no, these people, they have a strong message, and it's a message that resonates. So thank you very much. Enjoy your dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I want to call on our guest speaker for tonight. And the interesting thing about our guest speaker is that she's not Nigerian. When we started the search for a guest speaker, in the past, we've always had Nigerians be the ones to speak. But this time around, because the focus is really on the younger generation, to bring this story of Biafra to a whole new generation so that they understand and carry it forward. We looked around, and the person we've invited to speak to us today is a young lady by the name of Jocelyn Alexandre. She's from Rwanda. And Jocelyn, with her sister, her twin sister, I still find it very difficult to tell them apart. What they've done is they've been able to take a difficult story. Because the thing is, in Africa, the first major civil war was the Nigerian Biafra Civil War, the Biafran War, where we had a case of serious genocide. And then after that, one that a lot of people know about now is the Rwandan genocide. And what these remarkable young ladies have been able to do, these two sisters, is take a painful story and say, how do we transform this into a story of positivity? How do we give back to our community? How do we take this story of pain and go back to Rwanda and empower children? So for the young people that are listening, perhaps the whole concept of Biafra and the struggle and the sacrifice that was done is new to you. We want you to pay attention to see that you can use this story of Biafra. It can be as an Igbo child or a Nigerian child. You can say, you know what, if this happened to people in the past, if all this suffering happened, and I'm enjoying the privileges and the opportunities that I'm enjoying now, perhaps it's time for me to start thinking home. Perhaps it's time for me to start envisioning a better Nigeria, because it will start one person, one idea, one project, one community at a time. So, Jocelyn, we'll just want to play a short video about their project, and then she'll take it from there.
Our passion and purpose is to help homeless children in Rwanda by rescuing them from life on the streets and giving them a home and a family. In 1994, a mass genocide that lasted 100 days killed over 800,000 Rwandan people. Rwanda used to be known as the land of 1,000 hills, but unfortunately the country will now be remembered for the devastating mass genocide. One of Rwanda's greatest challenges is the increasing number of children being orphaned as a result of the AIDS epidemic and chronic poverty. Rwandan children have been left abandoned with little or no access to food, shelter, and education. They are constantly exposed to deadly diseases, but we are determined to end this cycle of poverty. Each year, Rwanda remembers the 100 days of genocide. Our goal is to raise 1 cent for every life taken between April 7th and July 17th. Text I Can Give to 41010 and donate $5 towards a life-changing cause. You can help us stop the generational bondage of poverty.
Hello, good evening, everyone. We're so honored to be here tonight. We don't have enough words to express our appreciation to all our friends. I mean, we feel comfortable already because I didn't have a piece of cola, but I feel pretty much appreciated to be here. So thank you. Hopefully next time I'll have a piece of cola. So thank you so much. And I thank the people who are here today, attended the event. And most of all, we are honored to be among of men, women whose lives are a testament to the inspiring survivors. We have been given a second chance. We're gathered here tonight to remember Biafra. Excuse me, I'm learning. And those whose lives lost in the genocide. And we're here to comfort as well the survivors. So we're remembering and we're comforting. We celebrate life today, and we're here to tell the world that we did not forget, nor we will not sit and allow these atrocities, tragedies to repeat itself in our history. On a personal note level, Jocelyn and I, some of you might know or heard that we survived the Rwandan genocide against Tutsi in 1994. There have been many too far genocides in our world. These tragedies and horrible acts started in the hearts of ordinary men and women. I heard somebody mention that earlier, that anyone here is capable of doing something unthinkable. All you have sometimes to train a little girl or boy who's 5, 3, 10. Hey, hate him. He's blonde. He's dark. His nose is a little weird, long, pointy, short. And then that little girl or boy is going to grow up to hate that person, even want to kill them. Who's not capable of that? We all are. So, hatred that has thrived in our people, committed unspeakable act against humanity. Look at what happened in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, Armenia, Darfur, and the list goes on. You know what? We are surprised to see these atrocities happening, but they are the extreme of cases: bullying, ignorance, intolerance that we see every day. We cannot allow this poor spirit to enter our hearts. Thank you. You know what? We say this as Africans. We are Africans, Canadian, Rwandans, survivors. We don't want these things to happen again, like what happened in 1994, what happened with Biafra. One time, Jocelyn and I, we were taken to be killed. There was this bus full of people that looked at us and said, you know what, they're Tutsi, go kill them, the cockroaches, crush them. We were just going at church to practice in the choir. Just little girls, did not even get it, didn't understand it. I'd just like to take this opportunity just to think about it. Millions of innocent people have died in genocides. Men, women, children, babies sent to their deaths for being different, just for being who they did not choose to be. Did I really talk to my mother before I came out and say, hey, can I please be born as a Hutu so they don't kill me later? She would have done that. You know what? My mother today, there's some people who come and say, oh, we're so sorry, our condolences on the twins, because they actually still think that we died that day when they took us to fry us in a big tank of oil. So, we must tell our children these unique crimes in human history, genocides that have happened to our countries. We must keep telling our children those stories about our loved ones, how, why they died, and mostly how they lived. They had a beautiful life. They didn't have to go. These crimes were committed because of ordinary people allowing evil to enter their hearts, and also because other people decide to stand by and not do nothing. So let's not stand by and not say anything. We must do something. There will always be deniers. Thank you. There will always be deniers, and we need to know of their many strategies. This is why we need to keep talking about this so we don't forget what happened to our loved ones. They will continue to live in our hearts, our actions, and our voices. Jocelyn's going to talk a little bit about how do you move on from things like this and what we do, why we do what we do today. Here, Jo.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jocelyn. As you heard, you probably thought I'm the one who's going to speak first. But I wonder why she spoke first. He is the firstborn, 3 minutes older, so she's my boss. She always starts. I don't know why. I beat you to it from my mom.
So anyways, yeah, we're really happy to be here today. I'm just glad to have a chance to meet Chris and Juliet, and I'm meeting more friends tonight, so that's really exciting. Yes. So we, speaking about our lives, we came to Canada not long after the genocide. At first, we did not want to ever go back to Africa because everyone seems to be mad, poor, ignorant. Mind. It goes, we just didn't understand it. We didn't want to go back. A few years, we realized that we cannot be bitter against ourselves, our families, our roots, who we are. We went back to visit family, and it was great. We loved it to see our mom and our brothers. But to see, after that, the kids on the streets, so much need in our people, so we decided to help rebuild Rwanda. We founded a charity called Shelter Them, Poverty Relief, in 2005, and our focus is to rescue orphans, vulnerable children, and give them a future like every child deserves. We have worked with hundreds of street children, but currently, our focus is to see every child raised in a family, like a normal family, with parents. Our homes for boys or girls consist of 4 or 6 children with a mother or father. Our vision is that these children grow to become future and leaders of Rwanda, leaders of Nigeria. Yes, please. The leaders, like that gentleman who just finished his university with honor. So we thank you very much, very proud of you. We run a sponsorship program, which our table is outside. If you would like to start, well, please do. We can help a child for only $4 a month. That help a child in the future. These are pictures. There are pictures available to pick or a child or make a difference. The 100 Days campaign, which initiated in 2008, runs every year since 2008 between April and July to commemorate the Rwandan genocide against Tutsi. We have been on a few TV shows promoting this campaign, the 100 Days campaign, which is running right now throughout Canada in different organizations, schools, and churches. So we have done a lot of work to go back and to remember those children, families who needs help. And the rest I will give to Josephine to conclude. So what we're doing here, really I think awareness without action means nothing. We are teaching our children and educating them through awareness. We challenge ourselves to never again, or Ozemena. Ozemena? Zemena. Oh, Zemina. Yes. You know what? It's kind of a bitter truth, though, isn't it? Never again. You know how many never agains have been talked about? So, us as a human, honestly, us as a human, we have failed many times to prevent bad things to happen. But, you know what we don't do? We don't quit. We don't quit. We keep believing in the future and not give up. Isn't that right? The more we talk about it, the more we keep our voices up, the more these things don't happen. So we're going to keep going. Thank you. Thank you to the survivors who are here today for not giving up. And thank you for the people who support us. Because you know what? I believe a genocide is a crime against humanity. It's a crime against everyone, the whole world. That's why I would like to thank the people who are supporters as well. We will continue to strive and not only share our stories, educate our children so these atrocities do not happen again to other human beings. It must be the effort of all societies and nations to say no to hatred and in all the forms that it presents itself. And will, of course, protect the fundamental rights of everyone. Ozemena. Thank you. God bless.
There were a few things they said that it resonated. Awareness without action is nothing. And then they did a good job with pronouncing Ozemena. But one thing I want to mention is that the ICCA runs an Igbo language school, right? So we have 2 candidates to enroll in that class. And one other thing that it talked about was how important it is to talk about what has happened to you, to share your story. And that's really what we're doing here tonight, to continue to share our stories, not individually, but together. When we come together, the story is more compelling. And someone spoke last night that I listened to, and what he said, it was so profound. I think, because so many other people were speaking, we didn't really get the import of it. Mr. Vin Onyeka, he said something about the power of the media in shaping a story. You can be a good president, but if the media, doesn't love you, they can present you in a way that's not who you are. You can be a good person, a good group, a good community. If you're not telling your own story, that leaves you powerless. So the story today is that we must come together, right, and stand united in telling one succinct story around this theme of Ozemena. So I'm inviting everyone in the Igbo community, the Nigerians, everyone that's even not a Nigerian, other Africans, other races, join us in saying this story about the Biafran War. So, Ozemena. And talking about stories, we reached out to some members in our community and asked them to share their experiences about the war. And these experiences are both directly and indirectly, because a lot of times we think it's only those that have experienced it that it affects. But sometimes, even generationally, right, it affects people after. One of the tidbits that came up when we were researching, into the history of the war is that there was a recent study done by, it's a center in Sweden, I think it's Karinowski, with the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and they found out that in the study of Igbo adults, there's more cases, those that were malnourished during the war actually have more cases of cardiovascular diseases and diabetes. So the effects of the war is not just that it happened between 1967 and 1970 and then it's done. The effects are still going on. So let's just enjoy this video now of people sharing their experiences.
My experience about the Civil War is huge because I don't know where to start from. As at the time the crisis started, I was a child. I was barely 3 years old. But what I know is that by the time the war ended in 1970, I was more mature than my age. Little things that happened then have become big things in the sense that I recall that my mom's first son that used to carry me on his shoulders did not make it after that war. During that course of the war, my immediate senior brother, Ndubeze too, died because there was no Medicare for him for his sickness. My mom's last set of children, twins, died during that war. So if you're asking me my experience from my family point of view, my mom's 4 children died directly. As a guy from polygamous family, my dad lost other 2 kids from his other wives. Towards the end of that war, my dad's first daughter died. So if you look at the Iheanacho family, from my immediate recollection, we had more than 7 people that died in that war. Now, on my mom's side, 2 of the younger brothers died. So I don't know how my mom handled it. But what I recall very well is that a whole lot of things were happening. I still recall that the night my two twin sisters died, about 3 months apart, it was so rough that we were lying on the floor and we noticed movement at night. As kids, when we woke up, we were told to go back to sleep. In the morning, I didn't see Urechi. And my mom was sad, sitting at the back of the house. So we asked questions, nobody was answering us. However, by afternoon time of that day, we had started wandering around the compound and others, and then we saw red soil. We were told that was where Urechi was buried. That experience repeated itself again in less than 90 days. So those two girls went. Ndubueze's own I can't recall very well because Ndubueze is my direct senior brother, but I know I didn't see him again. It's so huge that for my cousins I used to play with around the same compound, Ngozi and Chinyere, both of them died too. At age 4, 5, I had seen more dead bodies than a lot of adults in their lifetime. I realized that when a dead body was being carried on a bicycle, you have to face the body backwards, tie the body right to the bicycle and face it backwards. So a whole lot of things were happening. Then for my senior siblings who were in school, they were being pushed from one compound to under trees. So early in the morning, somebody would come and whisper in the compound, school is at so and so place today. Because the federal troops then were bombing any roof that had zinc. So the school buildings were the immediate targets. So children were now being schooled under trees, and those trees had to change from day to day for obvious security reasons. Food was not present. There was no food. We were all hungry. Somehow, anything that came could be eaten. I recall we used to eat pawpaw anyhow it was, slice it, boil it, anyhow you eat. Protein was anything you could get. Some vegetables that we avoid today were regularized during the war. I agree that I was so small then, but I learned a lot. I could see pain in people's faces. I could see suffering. I could see dead bodies. I could see agony all over the place. As a child, 3, 5, 6 years old, I cannot recall going to bed to sleep. It was, you might go sleep somewhere and wake up another place because your parents would either have taken you away or your senior siblings. So it was really traumatic for all of us.
My name is Honorable Grace Omelebele, and I'm here to talk about some of my family members that I lost during the Biafra War. My uncle, his name was Major Alexandra Okafor, which I never knew. But my mom and my dad always, they showed me pictures, when he was in the army, and he went to the Biafra War, but he never made it back. Because my mother's elder brother was a lawyer, but he was killed in the war too. I never met. And it is a very traumatic thing for my mom because my mom usually talk about the brother. I think he was actually the breadwinner of the family because their father died during the war as well. And
I didn't know anything about the Biafra War, to be very honest, until my first year in university. I attended school in Abraka, University of Delta State in Abraka. And I had a project to do, and I went to the library, and I found a book talking about a war. I mean, that was quite a shock to me. I grew up in Lagos, and I can tell you, I loved history. It was one of my favorite subjects. And I can tell you the whole story from Mungo Park to Lord Lugard to everything until the Nigerian independence in 1960. And that was where the history books ended. I never had any reason to find out what happened after that. It made sense to me after the independence, Nigeria became its own country to govern itself. And can imagine my shock to find out at almost the age of 20 years old that a war happened in to my own people that I was not even given the privilege to have knowledge about. I think that that is the most unfortunate thing that anybody in this world can be denied, the right to know your past, your history, your choice to do what you want with it. And even that, the Nigerian government felt that they had to remove it. I'm not sure what the benefit of it is, but I can definitely say that there is no positive benefit from not knowing your history, what mistakes your people may have made, what sacrifices you made. And I don't see how anybody in this world can make any progress without having a clue of what they have gone through in the past.
I've heard my dad talk about Biafra, but he kind of edits it when he says it's like our culture, they try to cover things that from kids, which from what I know now, it's bad, because history is what keeps a nation. You have to tell the story of the past to move ahead. You have to tell the story of the past for the kids coming up to learn. And now, talking about the experience of Biafra, trauma is trauma, whether it's from Biafra or it's natural. So whether you were there when it happened or you just came in after it, you still get to experience it because you have people who had experienced it and they still live with the trauma of the war. I have an uncle who, may his soul rest in peace, died. He lived with a bullet all his life until later part of his life when we were growing up with such medical. And after even the operation of that bullet, he still lived with pain, agony, trauma.
My mom in those years and some women, they used to go to some very far away and they weren't taking the bus. They will walk from villages like from Nobi, Nnewi, Alonokwa. They gather together, they walk to a place called Nkwereini. They go there to fetch for food because that's where you could only find food during the war because there were scarcity of food within that period. And they will come back and they will tell us a bunch of stories of the encounters with the armies.
As a nation, when you go through a period where there's 3 million people are lost, it should be a catalyst to evolve a change. And so I think when ICCA started remembering people who died, that was the starting point. So we said, okay, just to keep the history so that we do not forget that something enormous and gigantic like this happened in the life of our people. We've done that for several years. While we're doing that, we're beginning to ask questions: who are we? Where are we going? What are the benefits of what we're doing? How do we transform what we started and the vision we have to the mission and the vision we have tomorrow? This idea that we can turn this bad thing into good, it resonated with everybody. I think there are several people that discuss about the Biafran War and the Biafran struggle. A lot of them have thought that there's they want to go back to a struggle to find another Biafran nation. Some of them had thought like the best way would be violence. Example of Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela. We also what forgiveness does. When you think positively, it has a far more greater impact than when you think negatively. I think going forward, what we're doing today, what we're doing as a people, is we've taken this bad stuff and we've transformed ourselves, and we hope it will make a difference in anybody that comes to that celebration. It make a difference in the world, in the sense that we've shown the world that we can forgive and forget, that even though we felt we are wrong, whether it's right or wrong, but we've moved on from it. So these are some of the things. It's showing leadership. Again, there's this struggle is many bishops, one Christ. We're all Igbo people. there are Igbo people that are genuinely interested in the welfare of their people. The question is, what would be the best way to come together and harness this and find a means of going to the promised land? The promised land for every Igbo man, woman, is a place where Igbos will be prosperous, where we become independent, where Nigeria will be a truly free land of freedom, a land where people are prosperous, where there's true democracy. So I think the first step towards that is find an instrument where people forgive, when people come together. When you mention the word Biafra, it unifies us and divides us. And we have to use this tool, this instrument, and create synergies.
They are there already. Yes, when the time comes, yes. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to ask everybody to stand up for laying of the wreath. Thank you. And can we also have absolute silence? Thank you.
Father Almighty God, forgive Nigeria, heal Biafrans, and bind us together so that this will never repeat or happen again to anybody, to Igbo nation, to Yoruba nation, to Hausa nation, or any other nation in the world. God bless us all.
You may now be seated. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Please, can you come back, the kids that to the lane of the wreath? I call them back because this is a significant moment. What they've done, this is transgenerational. And I just wanted them to tell us their names and what this moment means to them.
My name is Ikenna Ilag. This really means something to me since I'm now understanding and I'm at an age where, things are really serious. So, yeah.
Thank you, Ikenna Ilag. Tell us your name and what this moment means to you.
Namaka Ihianacha, and this moment means that there's been a lot happening in the last few years that happened in Nigeria, and it was really serious and bad.
Thank you very much. May you tell us your name and what this means to you.
My name is Dumebi Ihianacha, and this moment means, because I used to come to this and I never knew what was happening. So now I actually understand how many lives were lost and what happened. So it's changing.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for this, for the three of them, please. Thank you very much. And that's the future generations, ladies and gentlemen. Let us continue to tell our stories. And so now I think it's a good time to actually give out one of those gifts that we talked about. We've shared a lot of experiences. The question I'm going to ask is for table 11. Table 11. Which month did Ojukwu declare the state of Biafra? So one person from that table should come up and answer. You win a gift, and then you all have to decide who will get the gift. May I have Shola Alumona and Nicole to come out with gifts? So we have 2 copies of Chimamanda Adichie's Half of a Yellow Sun. And so who's answering the question from table 11? Fantastic. So can you please take the prize to that table and then they get to decide, both of them? Yes. Yeah? Someone was asking what year. The thing is, I get to do the questioning tonight. They answered May, they get the prize, right? Second gift. And this is for table 3. Table 3. Who was General Ojukwu's second in command? Table 3. Can we have someone answer, please? They got it. Yep. So that. The third question is for table 23. And this is the question. During the Biafran War, something unique happened. The West and the East were united against Biafra. That's like something really unique. Normally, you have Russia support one side, and the UK and the other allies support another. But both were united against Biafra. But there was a country that supplied Biafra with arms, that supported Biafra. Can you name the country? Table 3. Someone from table 3. 23. Sorry, 23. I'm so sorry. It's 23. Going. Anyone? Gone. So I'm going to call on table 2. Fantastic, they got it, France. So the next question is for table 13. For table 13, the Biafran War changed forever the role of humanitarian organizations, the way they were fed, and the way they operated. Can you name one organization that was founded specifically because of the Biafran War? Table 13. Any takers? Correct. Doctors Without Borders. So round of applause for table 13. Ooh. Oh, one more gift, actually. And I'd like to say these gifts were donated by different people. Madam Ubochi donated a gift. So a huge round of applause to her. Honorable Grace Omelebele. Bridget Ubochi, that's the first person. Honorable Grace Omelebele donated another gift. Nwando Onyeka, I pronounced that well again, donated a gift also. And we're able to speak to the body shop and we got a gift from them. So a huge round of applause to all these people that sponsored this section. So the last question is for table, table 17. Okay, the way we're going to do this now, I'm going to ask this, and then the first answer that we get, the fastest answer, is going to be the person that will take this. How many months did the war go on for? She wanted. She eat it. Okay. I'm going to defer to an elder to tell us the right answer. So I'd like to go to Madam Regina Okafor to tell us the right answer.
Answer is 13 months.
So, and she's giving us the right answer. Remember what we said on this table. Listen, we know you got it right. We just said we wanted to confirm with an elder, right? So we're Igbos, we do things. Yeah, so can we have that over to that table? This is a test now. Can we have a round of applause for this table? And for the table I called, there's another gift for you. You're getting that, so know that all is well. And right now, we're going on to the next agenda, which is really the ICCA Recognition Award. It's interesting how a gift can cause so much excitement. So again, a big round of applause to all the people that sponsored this. I'd like to call on the chairman. We had an agreement at the beginning of this show. Table 23, we're calling you out. We want some silence. Silence, silence. Thank you. So right now, I'm going to call on the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Biafra Memorial Foundation. And he's going to be the one to facilitate the recognition award. So Mr. Emmanuel Nwankwo, please.
I don't get a lot, God the way. And I don't pay my rent, God the way. There be one for my hand, but God the way. I don't change my name to God the way.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the little short discussion we had over there about the award. Apparently, we have 2 awards to be presented tonight. Of you witnessed it, some have not. The awards we have to present, we have a video that will last for about, 20 minutes to go. And we want them to organize that ready to play before we the award. Okay? But now we have to go on with the first award before we go into the second one. As you all know, Biafran War Memorial Foundation is growth, has been improving and innovating what we do. And what does that mean is that we take time to recognize people who have done tremendous impact in our community and who have actually contributed or the other Biafran War Memorial. Please, can I have your attention, please? All activities should be on hold. Those selling the tickets, please get seated and we continue after the award. Thank you very much. And we do use this award to recognize people who have done a lot of activity, and most importantly towards the Biafran War Memorial Foundation. We have run this program for the past 12, 13 years. And this is the first time we are running a function that is ticketed dinner. And you can see the response we have, and we thank all of you for coming. Not to take much of we have been having presidents of ICCA, they come and they go. From the history of ICCA, prior to the war we talked about today, into the present time, many presidents has come and gone, and some left their footprint and some don't. However, they have made their own contribution in whatever minimal way we might see it to be. And tonight, we want to use this occasion to recognize one of our own who has also left his footprint. His tenure is almost ended, and some of you know whom I'm talking about because of his activities in the community. Having served in many capacities in other community organizations, and having served as the secretary, the vice president of ICCA, many years before eventually making up his mind to serve as the president. And this president, as we're talking about, was one of the pioneers of renewal of ICCA. Today you're seeing the contemporary ICCA has gone through a dramatic change for good. And our leader, current president, has been involved in these changes. And not only that, he has demonstrated his pragmatic activities and nature and his leadership, his sacrifice. I can go on and on to tell you he deserves the award. Some of you who have been involved in serving our community know the time taken that some people have put to make things work. Not only their time, their resources. Some of us do compromise our families trying to make sure that the community is built. Building a community is not an easy one. And most importantly for the Igbos, we know that Igbos is one of the most difficult people to govern because we are very democratic, we know it all, and above all, we do not have a hierarchy of leaders. In Igbo land, everybody is a leader. You have a say, even a child born today. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, we are yet to have a president that will match our current president today. Sir Chris Nsedo, step up for your award, please. Can you people please be upstanding while he takes this award? Chris Nsedo has paid a price, and I know he deserves this. Where is the cameraman? Yes, Ojebi, join. Does any go with you in a picture? We have to thank the wife too for keeping up with this gentleman and his activities. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. You want to say something? More people are coming. There will be picture times. We are here all night, remember. Finally, Odumegwu Ojukwu's the People's General Award was inaugurated 2 years ago to remember our general who led the Biafra through the whole war period. And we call it the People's General Award. And we have another scholarship that is attached to People's General Award. We have a scholarship for any Igbo or any Easterner that will find itself into a military school. You have a scholarship from this association to remember our general, the People's General. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. I wouldn't have much to say. Yeah. Thank you very much. Honestly, I don't even know where to start, but I want to let you know that this award means so much to me. This award means so much to me. And thank you to Igbo Canadian Community Association for giving me the opportunity to serve you as your president. But there is something that I want to say regarding especially the Igbo people here in this room. Please, 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 I want to beg you for one thing. One thing, please. If you are here today and are an Igbo person, please join us. Join Igbo Canadian Community Association because we need you. If you think about it this way, this was organized by members, starting from Juliet Umonido. She is our new member. If she hadn't joined Igbo Canadian Community Association last year, we won't have this beautiful
And I also understand this Biafra Memorial Foundation, Biafra Memorial event means because I was born in Biafra, I wasn't born in Nigeria. Think about that. I was born during the war in Biafra. I wasn't born in Nigeria. So if I have my birth certificate, it says Biafra. Because I was born, I don't even know how my mom got pregnant during the war. But you know. No. And imagine my mom in the village. My mom can identify every military aircraft. If there's an aircraft above, my mom will dodge. And I will say, what? He said, that may be the federal troops coming. Because they used to bomb the market. And she was pregnant with me. You know, so you know what it means to me. So whenever I hear Biafra, Biafra is an Igbo story. Biafra is a Nigerian story. It's a world story. You know, today in Germany, if you deny the Holocaust, you will go to jail in Germany. If you deny the Holocaust, you can't come into Britain. But in Nigeria, you can disrespect people that died in Biafra, and nothing will happen to you. This is what we're trying to do to stop it. Please join us, because if you join us, you will make this thing better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris Instedo, the president of ICCA. He has opened up a call for those who haven't joined to please join. And good things is yet to come. I will allow the video to play on the next recipient of tonight's award. And I'll have my seat and I'll come back. I shall return. Thank you.
Out of the Federation, we had invested so much. But we had no real choice. It was a decision for us to take to opt out of a federation in which we had invested so much. But we had no real choice.
I don't get a lot, God you.
He has become the chairman of so many businesses, both at home and abroad. He's widely traveled across different countries of the world. After extensive travels to Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Democratic Republic of Congo, and South Africa, the then young Oba traveled even further to Belgium, Germany, England, and also to the United States of America in search of greener pastures. Today, Dr. Ifeanyi Oba is an accomplished businessman, a celebrated tycoon of his class and type, and an unmatchable philanthropist to so many people and corporate organizations across the world. It is in record that Dr. Patrick Ifeanyi Oba in 2001 single-handedly brought huge investments into Nigeria's oil and gas industry. With the establishment of Capital Oil and Gas Industries Limited, which massively expanded within 2 years to include haulage, transportation, and petroleum product retail. By 2011, Capital Oil and Gas Industries Limited became the biggest oil company in Nigeria to have the largest loading jetty throughout Nigeria. It had within its fold the total capacity the best within 3 to 6 modern vessels simultaneously. This is a record breaker, the very first of its kind in Nigeria. Dr. Patrick Ifeanyuba has also invested massively in real estate, telecoms, international merchandise, financial institutions, and in paramedics. He presently sits on the board of 8 national and international companies, all of which are top-notch in today's global business economy. In recognition of his huge achievements across the world, the Oxford Brooks magazine of the United Kingdom listed Dr. Patrick Ifeanyuba among the world's top 40 Nigerian businessmen who are successful under the age of 40 years. Humbled by his vast wealth, numerous achievements, and God's blessings upon his life, Dr. Patrick Ifeanyuba has humbly dedicated himself to the service of God and humanity. To this end, he has, in collaboration with his amiable wife, the elegant Lady Uchenna Uba, established the Uba Foundation. It is in record today that this great foundation has contributed very significantly into the human capital development of so many Nigerians, with the award of scholarships to over 160 indigent students from very poor backgrounds.
The Ifeanyuba Foundation was formally incorporated about 5 years ago. To showcase his philanthropy and to showcase his concern about the sufferings of our people, especially the youths, the widows, and the have-nots, with special emphasis when we started in the southeast states of Nigeria, Anambra, Imo, Abia, Enugu, Oyo. So the Patrick Ifeanyuba founded the Ifeanyuba Foundation to touch lives. The tripod we started with was education, awarding scholarships across the board, and the widows. So the foundation went into meeting the needs of these people, giving out food items like rice, like indomie, biscuits, and medicals in some instances. And we even went as far as sending some very sick ones to India, to Canada, and to places like that for medical care, paid for by the foundation through its founder, Dr. Patrick Ifeanyuba. And we went deeper into the communities by doing what he also founded, which was the Cairo Direct scheme. A scheme that was in liaison with the NNPC and the state governments, and in which he deployed no less than 2,000 trucks of his own from capital, oil and gas. And these trucks took up the situation or the challenge of distributing kerosene throughout the nooks and crannies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The distribution was made in such a way that it was 1 family, 20 liters, and 50 naira per liter. It went a long way. What is important intellectually in the exercise was that lives were touched, families had alternatives to firewood, and there are so many other things which we have done in the process of some time. We find that somebody wants the kerosene, but we don't even afford the 50 naira per liter price. In that situation, we were made to give it out for free.
When they suffer us sick, pray with them, come bring them, so make you reach the poor. And thank you, capital oil. As they remember all the poor, God will bless them, and then we continue. For what capital oil has done for us, before we used to buy a liter of oil at 200 naira, but now we are buying kerosene for 50 naira per liter. We give God the glory and we say thank you. We thank God for NNPC and capital oil for giving us this kerosene at the end of the day. Because the
don't feel the death of our husband again because of Dr. Patrick Ivanyo. He always remembers us.
I want to make you proud. To show you that the money has been spending on us is not
honors and give out the award.
Thank you. Yes, Mrs. Promise. We have to proceed to the second award. The individual that is receiving this award, as you can see on the video being played, has spoken for himself. The video has actually said exactly what I should be saying, and I cannot say more than what the video has said. And to cut the whole long story short, you all know whom Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah is. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would like you to get seated. Please hold on with greetings. Have your seat and hold your discussions. This is very important part of our program tonight. I would like us to maintain the silence we started with. I know some of us have had 1 or 2 glasses of wine, but that's not enough reason actually to please, the back speakers, can we have your attention, please? Thank you. Hold on your publicities, information dispatch, and let us proceed, please, so that the people can at least have some time to shake off what we've eaten tonight and go home peacefully. Yes, back to the video. The video has spoken for itself. For Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah, it happens to be somebody I know personally, and his work in Nigeria, politicians and the business entrepreneur, speaks for itself. He's a man that has a big heart. He has done a lot in our community, and somebody will be wondering, why do we have to give him an award in Toronto? And I will tell you, Ifeanyi Ubah has also his family in Toronto. That's number one. Number two is that he has visited our organization, ICCA, and he has also shown some interest and support. And in tonight's occasion, this year, 2015, Biafra Memorial Celebration or Remembrance, he has also taken a giant step to say, hey, you know what, I will give you my sponsorship. As a matter of fact, we count his sponsorship to be on top of all the sponsors. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Dr. Ifeanyi Ubah. And I'll call, thank you very much, and I'll call now his assistant he sent all the way to Nigeria for tonight's occasion to come and represent him and receive this honor on his behalf. Vin Onyeka happens to be one of our staunch members and a strong representative of Igbo in diaspora in Nigeria. And a founder and one of the strong founders of this organization we're all enjoying tonight. He is one of us. I cannot speak more than this. I give to you Vin Onyeka. Omenyi Laura, put your hands together for him, please. You know what? Come up. Come up, Vin. Thank you. Wonders will never stop happening. We need the award. Okay, somebody has the award. And I will ask Vin to give me a moment and have a seat, and I'll get him back again. Vin. Yes, that will be extra. Put your hands together for Vin, please. The chair lady and the DJ, please proceed with entertainment and let me search for the award wherever it is. So, can we have it? Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Such a beautiful award, we cannot afford to miss it or to lose it in a transit or wherever. I hope Vin is still around here. So ladies and gentlemen, please have your seat. I still need a few minutes of silence while we do this and let it go. Please hold on with your greetings. We finish. We're almost done, and then you have the yourselves. Please get seated. Finally, let's finish up your discussions later on, please. Gaddafi, have your seat. At least I know everybody in this crowd. Thank you. Get seated. Don't want me to call your names. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we proceed to conclude our event tonight. I'll call on again Vin Onyeka to please come forward. Mama Anochie, get seated. Vin Onyeka, come forward. Put your hands together for Vin, please. Yeah. Thank you very much. The award tonight goes to Dr. Ifeanyi Oba. As you've all seen in the video, the good work he has been doing. And Vin has come all the way from Nigeria to receive this honor on behalf of him. And we thank him for taking the risk and the time, because Vin is always there to support this community. Omenyele, Vin Onyeka, we're happy to have you around anytime. Thank you very much. Thank you. The photographers, please come on. I would like to be part of this and cover us. More? Thank you very much. You want to say a little thing?
Igbo kwenu? Ndi Igbo kwenu? Igbo kwenu? Thank you. My name is Vin Onyeka. All due protocol observed. I need to say one or two things on behalf of my friend, my brother, my ally, and my political leader, Dr. Patrick Ifeanyi Oba. Ifeanyi Oba, if you ask me, I can only define him as a superhuman being. He's not an ordinary being. He's a dreamer, but he just don't dream. He dreams and he makes that dream come true. The thing is, you're in this part of the world, you will not begin to appreciate what Igbo leaders like him are doing for Ndi Igbo. Not just in Nigeria, but across the world. He has dedicated his life to seeing Igbo nation progress. And that's something that you don't find very often in Nigeria today. Some of you may not know this. Some of you know. But during this past election in Nigeria, he was up front and center propagating the Igbo nation and the progress of Ndi Igbo. And as a result of that, something that has never happened in the history of Nigeria happened. For the first time ever, Lagos as a state has 4 Igbo people representing them in the Federal House of Rep. It has never happened before. It used to be that Igbos in Lagos are just numbers. At the end of the day, we don't have a representative. Today, Lagos State House of Assembly has also the same amount of Ndibo in Lagos State House of Assembly. No wonder some people from that part of the country is jittered about him and about Ndibo. Because the reality, the truth about it is, we have just taken a giant step. And by the next 4 years, hopefully, that number will double, quadruple, and one day we will have an Igbo man in Alausa as the governor of Lagos State. If you don't see that as progress, if you don't see it as progress, I don't know what progress is. He has in all his everything he has done, put Igbo people forward. And that's what you need to know. Because all you get from this part of the world is the negative stories about a man. And let me tell you something. It is nothing new. And that is why he has dedicated himself that we must to media. And that's the next war in Nigeria. The media, Igbos are shut out from the media in Nigeria. We must go back and take it back. What happened was, somebody said to a white man before the Nigerian independence, history will judge you, history will judge you. And the white man looked at him and said, yes, I know, but that history, we will write it. So if I write my own history, what do you think? If I write the history about you, what do you think I will do to you? So my message to you from him tonight is, in whatever little way you can advocate Ndibo and get Ndibo in the forefront of media to propagate us and what we are all about, please do it. I thank you on his behalf. It's quite unfortunate he was not able to make it simply because of what is happening in Nigeria. There's a new regime in Nigeria, and the industry in which he commands about 60% of it in Nigeria is in shambles. And he cannot leave it to be here tonight. But I will give a message. I will also present the award that you have given him tonight, and he's quite grateful about it. May God bless every one of us. Thank you.
Good. Put your hands together once again for Menyi, receiving on behalf of Ifeanyi. And Honorable, I'll pass on the mic to the chair.
Thank you very much. And it's been a long night, and I hope that everyone here tonight has really, gained a new awareness about Biafra and the story that we're trying to tell. It's a story of using empathy and love and compassion and peace and justice to heal the wounds of the past. So right now, we're actually going to call it a night. Before I do that, I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to really say that after this part of the event is the after party, because it is a celebration. We're still here, and we're going to do our heroes proud. So we're just going to run a brief, very short video, like 3 minutes or something, with the closing remarks of some of the leaders in our community. And I bid you good night on that note. Again, remember to go out in the hallway, take some pictures, and then you come back in. We'll be set up for the real celebration, which is the after party. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with everyone tonight.
First, I have to express my gratitude to all those people who are able to come out today, and express my gratitude to even the people that didn't come out, who will also hear about it and say, well, I wish I was there. But the core message is this: we are here today. Tomorrow we may not be here. What are we leaving when we are gone? I want everyone to think about this. What are you leaving behind for your children, for your grandchildren, for your friends, if you don't have children, for anybody that will come across your records. What are you leaving? And in relation to this Biafra War Memorial, the people that fought in the war, not only on the Biafra side, but on the Nigeria side, they also lost people. I want us to not be oblivion to the fact that other people lost lives. We lost a lot. We lost more than anybody else because we had less to work with. But you might come across somebody who lost somebody. Commiserate with them and see how you can together make tomorrow. And those who did not come, but who support the event, or even if you don't support the event, but I don't know of any Igbo person who doesn't support this event. They may not belong to ICCA. A lot of the people I mentioned here, they are not even in this country anymore. But if they should see this, I say thank you to them for their work and their contribution at that time. Because had they not put their heads together with all the rest of us then, this may not have happened. So I want to share my gratitude with them and say, don't forget your people.
My closing message will be simply this, that they did very well to attend, that they did not waste their time, that just by showing up, that they became participants in this beautiful and wonderful but long journey of love, of redemption, of forgiveness, and of creating a better world that we should live in, free of hatred and anger and rage and killing and genocide.
To all of you here today, I want to, on behalf of myself and the Igbo Canadian community, I say thank you for being here today. We appreciate you. I want you to know that your presence here today will help to galvanize this aspect of our history, so that the accurate story, the story of what happened in Biafra will be told all over the world. And by so doing, will help to prevent another genocide or conflicts. And I also want to let you know that we are rebranding this movement. What we have today is nothing to what will come in the future. And please, I want you to take this information back home, to take what you witnessed here today back home, and encourage everybody. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, your religion, or wherever you come from, that this story is a world story. It's not a Biafran story. It's a story that concerns Africa, Europe, America, all over the world. That whenever you hear this word Biafra, know that it means peace. It means never again. It means that people of the world should learn how to dialogue instead of war. Ozo emena. Ozo emena. Ozo emena. It means never again, or may it never happen again. Ozo emena. Biko ụmụnne m, agha adịghị mma. Anyị ga-agbasi ike, ndị Igbo ga-ejisi ike banye na Nigeria. Onwe ife anyị na-eme, anyị etinye aka anyị. A na-atụ vote, ịpụta tụọ vote. Onwe oke a na-eke na Nigeria, ịpụta keta nke gị, ka anyị ghara ịnọzi na nkọ. Anyị aga nọ na nkọ, na-achị na Chineke ya eburu ọchịchị ma ọ bụ ife ruturu ndị Igbo pụtara anyị n'ụlọ. Ndị Igbo ga-apụta n'igwe. A na-binye aka, isoro binye aka n'akwụkwọ. What I'm trying to say is that ndị Igbo should participate in the affairs of Nigeria. This is my message to you. We should not be on the periphery anymore. We should be in the core of things in Nigeria. Thank you.
There's a cry from a mother who just lost another child. There's a cry from a people who have nothing more to lose. Everything that they live for has been wasted and abused. There's a cry from a river that has nowhere to flow, and the broad of the river was lost so long ago. And I cried for a reason